Last week on OSRS Curios. What up, nerds? It's Disciple back at it again. Clearly, I'm awesome at old school RuneScape. I thought that playing a PVP-Locked Ultimate Iron Man would be dangerous, but this is clearly way too easy for me. A bud in my clan chat suggested that I challenge Sea Engineer himself to come and kill me. Tom had already seen this series, and I'd even spotted him at Wintertop back in episode 3, but I didn't think he'd come too hard after me, so I said sure. They chipped in 7.5 mil, so I took to Twitter. Hey, Sea Engineer, if you can get me within the next week, there's a 10 mil bonus in it for you. I've got 3 major goals this video. First, I'm knocking down the door to Morytania. Once I'm in, I need to start Shades of Morton to unlock an herblore method that I'll be using heavily, at least until I unlock super attack potions. And finally, I'm going to quest up my defense even more to become a beefy boy. Priest in Peril is a pretty easy quest, as long as you flinch the Temple Guardian and safe spot the Zamorak Mage. Those are 2 mechanics I'll be abusing pretty heavily throughout my time on this account, and if I'm going to get a quest cape at 85 combat, I need all the tricks I have access to. I think the rules of this account are fairly straightforward. PvP worlds only while getting an 85 combat quest cape, with exceptions as required for quests and diaries only. I see flinching, prayer flicking, safe spotting, and tick eating to all be game mechanics that I can use fully to reach that goal. When choosing an initial name for this account, my first choice was Tits McGee, so I was super upset to find him camping in Varrock Square. I've got to go back to Varrock a few times for this quest. Not only do I need the bag to clear inventory space for the rune essence, but since there's no way I'll do 50 essence in 2 trips, I've got to do 2 trips of 17 and 1 of 16. After that, I'm headed east. Morytania is huge, and with Priest in Peril done, I'll be able to use the Slayer Tower, go to Canifis and Port Phasmatis, quest towards Morton, Berg de Rot, and Meyerditch, and unlock the Ectofuntus for prayer training. Anyway, that's quest completed. The next step is Nature Spirit, a quest that unlocks the Fairy Tale questline and gives us a nice boost to defense as well. We'll need to do this before we start farming or using fairy rings, but first it's got an 18 crafting requirement for us iron people, since we have to be able to make a silver sickle. I bang out Missile and Mystery for 15 crafting. Then, since I'm in the area, I might as well do X marks the spot. I'm not that desperate for crafting experience, so this lamp goes into herblore of course, and I get level 17. Let's do the Tower of Life now. Not only does this reward crafting experience, but the creature creation minigame inside the tower is going to be one of my best friends when I'm training herblore in the future. Oh, hi Zach. That's Tower of Life all done diddly dooski with 16 crafting total. Getting the builder's outfit as a reward reminds me, I've still got to actually build storage in my costume room. Sure, this outfit doesn't have any stats, give any experience boost, or have any effect after the quest is complete, but you're missing the important point. I can finally store something as an Ultimate Iron Man, which feels pretty damn cool. There's one more easy quest to get me the rest of the way to the Silver Sickle. It's time to finish Dwarf Cannon, and oh boy, do I have something to say to these motherfucking dwarves. Yeah, thank you for the experience. 18 crafting, and Silver Sickle crafted. Maybe the real PvP was the friends we made along the way. Finally, back to Morytania, and I forgot my Ghost Speak amulet. Finally, it's time to go back to Morytania. I know it's basically cliche at this point, but I've got to admit I'm really hoping to run into Swampletics someday. Settled basically got me into old school RuneScape in the first place, and I learned about Ultimate Iron Men just by watching him. I'd love for him to see the time I put into this game and the effort in this account, and then kick his scrawny little ass back to Lumbridge because that's something I can never, ever forgive him for. I'm sure he's too scared to hop to PvP worlds, but just know, I've got my eye on you, Swampy Boy. Before I came out here, I stocked up on Mind and Air runes. Firestrike is going to carry this account for a long time, both for all the combat during these early quests and for magic experience. 55 magic for High Alchemy is a long way off, but it's a huge goal of mine, and I'm probably going to get there by doing exactly this. Oh no. Well, that sucks. How much did he just hit for? I want to figure out what happened, but first I should probably go back and try and loot my body or something, see if he left anything. Shoot, I've got to reset my bounty now, don't I? The final number is 1,767,799. So I've just got to reset the tracker now, and I'll pay him out a bit later once I figure out what's going on. Oh, thank God. Okay, so Snoopy, turns out, was scouting me in my CC on a hardcore Iron Man and killed me on his ult, but he's not going to loot my body. Honestly, you guys can loot my body. You can choose to leave it. I don't mind. I'm not going to encourage you to leave it because I think that goes a little bit against the spirit, but I'm sure as shit not going to discourage you from it. Oh God, this run back has been very stressful. I just knowing all my inventory and everything is lying there on the ground, waiting for me to get back to it, it was not fun. But fortunately, Snoopy was a good sport about it. He just wanted the kill, and he also doesn't want the payout. He said that he wants me to give it out to random free-to-play players instead. I'm gonna do that, but first I want to see what the heck just happened. I went back and counted frames. From the time he appeared on my screen to the time I was dead, 1.25 seconds had elapsed. He was on the minimap for a few seconds beforehand, but honestly there are so many NPCs in the area that I just had no clue. I had taken enough damage from gas that he didn't even need the second arrow and did 22 damage to my 21 health, but even if I'd been on full health, there's still a good chance his Debo spec would have one-shot me anyway. Deaths really mean something now, especially if I get looted, so I have to try and learn from them, but honestly this one was really tough. I can try to stay constantly alert with my finger over a teleport at all times, but it was a really unlikely place to get PK'd in, and I was just safe spotting away in the south of Mort Mire. The guy who killed me mentioned that he saw the crafting gains I'd made because he was tracking my profile, and he guessed that I was going for Nature Spirit, so he'd been camping out the grotto for a few hours. I'm gonna finish Nature Spirit, but first, it's bounty time, baby. Oh God, there were so many bots in those caves. I'm pretty sure I gave away the money to real players. I ended up giving away 2 mil overall, the final going to this cute little noob in the Lumbridge cow pens. And finally there it is, the first bounty paid out. Back on the Ultimate Iron Lad, we've finished up with Nature Spirit and have some pretty nice early levels here. That's 23 crafting, 31 hit points, and 34 defense, which makes us a good deal tankier. I wonder if maybe now that Dark Bow wouldn't have one-shot me. I teleported back to Lumbridge to figure out what to do next, and I remembered that I need to start Shades of Morton in order to use up these Terramim potions, which was one of my goals in the first place. When I died, I lost my looting bag, like you always do, so I've got to get a new one. I'm back here at Mammoths because it's a good amount of experience and they drop some interesting stuff. I know that this isn't the best way to get a looting bag, but honestly going through Edgeville to Thugs is terrifying, and it's a method that everyone says to do, but I'm not sure you understand quite how scary West Varrock and Edgeville are as a PvP-locked Ultimate Iron Man, so I'm going to do it here safely and fix up my inventory. Fun fact, just because one of the quest NPCs has a shop that sells vials of water does not mean that that shop is accessible at the beginning of the quest. So I've got to go back, grab some vials of water, make some Terramim potions, and come back and heal them up. If you didn't know, you can take the Diary of Herbiflax to Varrock and trade it in for some Herblore experience. If you did know that you can't do it until you're done with the quest. So this didn't work at all. I'm back on track with the quest, and I've healed the townspeople, but there's now a step that I've got to do that might make some of you guys a little upset. I asked around first a bit in the Ultimate CC and Discord, and from what I heard, it is basically going to be impossible for me to solo Shades of Morton at any point in the future, and I've said that I'll make exceptions for quests, so this is the first one. Here goes. Oh God, please get me off of this world. I don't belong here. I belong on PvP Worlds. That's my place now. I'm just here for as long as it takes to finish the quest, and then I'm hopping right back over. I've said since the beginning that I'll make exceptions for quests as needed since I am getting the quest point cape, and there are some things you just can't do on PvP Worlds, but I'm going to make as few exceptions as possible. Here's just the first one, but I don't think that I'll have to make another one for quite some time. Okay, I'm done. I'm hopping back to PvP Worlds. And I probably deserved that. I grabbed some food and already looted my body and went to go finish the quest, which we are finally complete with. 3 quest points, 2k crafting and herblore experience. That brings us all the way up to 21 herblore now, which is so nice, but we have such a long way to go. Now I've just got to make some ashes to use up the rest of my Terramins and turn those into Herblore experience. I also get to finally trade in that diary for some extra Herblore XP, and with the Terramin potions and this combined, I'm up to 23 Herblore. Just 50 to go. I wasn't sure what quest I should do next, and so I asked my clan chat, because they're always super helpful. Dragon Slayer 2 next, guys. Let's go. 97 woodcutting on the Iron Man. I've been playing this account as passively as I can. While I progress the UIM, I'm trying to max on this account, and so I might as well do them both at the same time. Turns out I don't have the requirements for DS2 just yet, so I went onto the wiki and googled quests that reward defense experience. So here we are, starting a Soul's Bane. Yo, I know these big hits don't mean anything, but oh, they feel so good. Being a low level, they feel so good. Ow! This room sucks, and I hate it so much. You can sort of safe spot these guys, but it's super awkward because so much of the room is aggro, and you don't get experience for damaging the fake ones, so I don't want to waste all of my runes getting a bunch of null magic experience. I'm pretty sure I'm going to run out of food, though. Hey, it's another PvP-only Ultimate Iron Man. That is super cool. I dipped out because I needed some more food, but I'm also cutting some willow longbows in Lumbridge to make money so that I can buy some more runes to finish out the quest. Ow! This quest hurts way more than I remember it, and I've already run out of food again. I am almost done killing these hopeless creatures, but I will have to go and get a few more cakes for this room and the final one, and then that should be quest completed. I wanted to say that this wasn't another waterfall quest situation. That one was all my fault. This one is just a lot harder than I anticipated, but for someone my level, it's rough. That is until I re-entered this room and found out that all of the hopeless creatures respawned. Oops. I am super excited to make quest guides for you guys so I can tell you how to avoid the mistakes that I made. Get it? Super? Is this a scout? I end up running into a lot of interesting people on PvP Worlds. I found this Woody fella who is doing an unofficial duo Iron Man on PvP Worlds only, and it's really cool to see so many interesting accounts being made. Fortunately, I feel like I made a pretty good one, and I'm having a lot of fun with it. Because my account is so unique, there are going to be a lot of challenges on it later on, and I'm really interested to figure out exactly what skills I need to go for the quest cape, such as getting the smithing level to make Addy bolts, or getting the magic level to cast Blood Blitz, as well as in general managing my combat level, since I do not want to go over 85 combat, and beating Vanstrom Klaus or Robert the Strong with very low melee stats is going to be a challenge. I'm working on figuring out exactly what gear, weapons, and stats I want to bring to each fight, and I can't wait to talk about those plans in future videos so you guys can tell me just how wrong I am. For now though, I'm going to keep on questing, skilling, and figuring out exactly how to play an Ultimate Iron Man, and hoping you guys have a fun time watching me do that. I also realized there might be some questions about the bounty payout, since a few episodes ago we agreed to scale it with quest points. This is still the case, but the events that you're seeing now in video happened before we decided on that, and I just paid out the bounty as it was. I'm slowly catching up to my progress in the videos, but these episodes take me a long time, so I appreciate you all bearing with me. Anyway, I suppose I'll see you all next time on my PvP-only Ultimate Iron Man, where I'm sure Sea Engineer isn't going to even notice my challenge. Peace.
Fall is here, hear the yell. Back to school, ring the bell. Brand new shoes, walking blues. Climb the fence, books and pens. I can tell that we are gonna be friends. Yes, I can tell that we are gonna be friends. Walk with me, Susie Lee, through the park and by the tree. We will rest upon the ground and look at all the bugs we found. Safely walk to school without a sound. Safely walk to school without a sound.